the Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy, pretty much 4 years old at this point, and there are only two DLCs that we gotten on the N.Sane Trilogy, and one game from the N.Sane Trilogy that I still don't get why it did not get a DLC. And that game is Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. I want to talk about the mystery and wondering the reason why Crash Bandicoot 2 never got DLC, but Crash 1 and Crash Warp got DLC. So let's dive in. Again, if you have been around since for a very long time, especially with the DLCs of Crash N.Sane Trilogy, you know that we got Stormy Ascent, the first DLC, a cut level from the first Crash game that was cut from the original from Naughty Dog that deemed it to be claimed too hard, but Vicarious Visions brought back the Nightmare Fuel in full HD as free DLC for limited time. It's still available, but you have to pay for it now. But yeah, Stormy Ascent is no joke. And of course, the little hint of good luck, you're gonna need it. And man, they aren't kidding. But that was the first DLC we gotten. A year later, we gotten a new DLC of a brand new level, Future Tense. So, basically, a complete brand new level made from Vicarious Visions. It wasn't a cut level, it wasn't supposed to be meant for it. It was completely new, completely from scratch. A new DLC level for Warp, completely from scratch. And here's the thing, now that if you think about it, you probably wondered, if not still wondering to yourself, why did Crash 2 not get DLC? Crash 1 got Stormy Ascent. Crash Warp got a brand new level as DLC, Future Tense, but completely missed out on Crash 2. Was there a reasoning behind it, or was there not really any level to actually do for Crash 2? That makes you wonder. Because if you think about it, Crash 2, again, did not get any DLC level, but only Crash 1 and Crash Warp did. Crash 3. And we yet to still know if Crash 4 is even going to get DLC, which, again, Stormy Ascent came out the same year, of course, right? The same year when N.Sane Trilogy first came out, but a month later, that's when Stormy Ascent came out, and then Future Tense, we waited until 1 year later, back in 2018, when we got, back in June, which if I remember correctly, that's when we got Future Tense, and of course that was the year of when Spyro, the wait for Spyro on the Reignite Trilogy, and the year when Nitrofield was released, or revealed. But, again, Crash 2 was the only game on the N.Sane Trilogy that did not receive any sort of DLC. Is there a reason behind it? Or did Vicarious Visions did not think of any idea for any DLC at all? I mean, that could be a good reason. I mean, there could definitely be a good reason why Vicarious Visions may have not thought of adding any DLC. But again, you may never have known. You may have never have known. Right? You may have never have known about that. And, again, it's just pretty interesting to think that two Crash games on the N.Sane Trilogy to this day, when you think about DLC that Crash got, all you think of is Stormy Ascent and Future Tense, and don't even think about the second game. My idea is Vicarious Visions maybe just didn't have any idea for DLC for Cross 2. Maybe they wanted to add DLC, but they just never thought of any. That could be a good explain. Alright, that could explain why we never saw DLC for Cross 2. And hopefully we do get DLC for Cross 4. Because there was a lot of stuff cut from Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. So I'd love to see some DLC, especially maybe a year later after its release, right? Maybe we could still get DLC for Cross 4. We could still see DLC most likely. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but maybe. Don't get hopes up when I say that, but maybe 1 year after October, a year after October's release, like in October, we could get some sort of DLC or something. I don't know, that's just speculation. But again, what do y'all think about the mysterious Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back on the N.Sane Trilogy not receiving any DLC? Were y'all wanting to see DLC, or were y'all fine? I just thought I would bring up this, because I meant to talk about this years ago, but just never had the time to talk about it. But again, what do y'all think? And what would y'all think, what would the level even be about? Because if you think about it, the 2 DLC levels that we got are based on a certain level. Like, Stormy Ascent, well, of course, Slippery Climb. And then Future Tense is like Gone Tomorrow and Future Frenzy. So what would a Crash 2 DLC level look like? What would it have been? Would it have been some sort of Turtle Woods theme? Would it have been a sewer DLC? I don't know. I would have loved to know what y'all think. So thank you all for watching. See you next video. Bye!